to our last speaker. Our last speaker for this morning session is Mr. Ronen Sharashov, and he has also called in to our webinar from Israel. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Ben Gurion and subsequently obtained an executive MBA from the Haifa University, both in Israel. He is an experienced high-tech entrepreneur with more than 25 years of experience in local and global high-tech industries, delivering significant value and competitive advantage. His unique combination of technology, engineering, and marketing skills laid the foundation for dynamic age AI. His topic is on revolutionizing building inspections, the power of AI facade inspection drones. Mr. Sharashov, the next 15 minutes is all yours.
Thank you and good afternoon, everybody. I do appreciate and thank you for giving me this very magnificent honor to present to all of you. It's a wonderful opportunity for all of us to explore new things in AI technology, drone inspection, and to bring technology to the rest of the world. I do appreciate that, and I would like to start my presentation. Let me share with you my screen. Do you all see that?
Yes, we do.
Okay, wonderful. So, revolutionizing building inspection. The power of drone AI facade inspection is the title of my presentation. And before I jump into all the technology, talking about drones and artificial intelligence, I would like to share with the audience a question. The question is very simple, no need to answer. I'll try to give the answer from my point of view in a short story at the end of my lecture. The question is very simple. AI is very known and shared around many aspects of our life. Who thinks artificial intelligence will replace people's work over time? Can we answer this question? So think to yourself and let's see how we can go at the end of my lecture. We are going to review during this presentation the takeaway. What are you going to gain from listening to my presentation? I will share with you a little bit about introduction about Dynamic Edge, what we do and how we do that, who are the key team members. What is AI and how it can assist periodic facade inspection regime that was developed and launched by the BCA. Of course, AI technology is a very big question or a lot of into that. I'll try in a very short brief to explain AI technology in image processing. What is the differences when you're going into facade inspection, the boundary boxes and semantic segmentation in real life? What question to ask in your next PFI project? 4 simple steps that are a must to cover during a PFI regulations. I will share with you a little bit about our Vision Air, our platform, which provide a holistic approach to secure, safe, and easy PFI process. Then we will have a short summary, and of course, good time, enough time to have question and answers. What are the 5 simple things that you should go at the end of the presentation to have? 1, how AI and drone can support your periodic facade inspection process, whether you are using that as a direct interaction with BCA or the end customer. When to use AI and when not to use AI. Many people think now that AI can solve everything and bring a lot of magic into that. Indeed, there is a lot of AI into that, but actually there's no magic into that. It cannot solve everything. We will discuss it. What question to ask in your next project when you are leading or interacting, whether with the local authorities like CWAS or BCA, or interacting with your client. Advantages and disadvantages of use in AI. And of course, and not less important, is understand drone technology and its advantages and disadvantages. Short brief about Dynamic Edge. Dynamic Edge is headquartered in Israel. It's founded by two major construction entrepreneur companies in Israel. One of them is handling a lot of commercial and industrial big projects that are related for building a dairy or major construction in logistics centers or even shipyards. The other company is more on residential. We have a significant track record providing facade inspection in Israel, in Singapore. We've done a lot of projects already, submitting it to the BCA, and in Canada, and starting to work in US. We have a local office in Singapore, and we are very much collaborating with academia of both civil engineering, the Israel Institute of Technology, and computer science in order to bring all the time new innovation, uniqueness in our solution, and advantage to our customers. We have a very good backed up in electrical optical know-how. Understanding how to utilize the camera of the drone, when to use it, and how to use it is very, very important, because this is the foundation of taking good images, translate it into the AI, and get good results. Not understanding the electrical optical, what type of camera to use, how many pixels, what is the distance from the facade, and other, will actually create a garbage out of the results. So we really would like to understand the three elements. Understand the camera part, the electrical optical part, the AI part, and the drone. Together, only together, it delivers excellent results. And of course, we have a significant UAV, unmanned air vehicle understanding and know-how. Our team in Dynamic Edge is combined of a variety of entrepreneurs, technology people, and experts in their field. We have Mr. Zion Sapir, who's a retired IDF Brigadier General. He's supporting us in Singapore business development. He's a former CEO of Rafael Defense System and lived in Singapore over 18 years. Mr. Dennis Ko is our Asia Pacific business development entrepreneur, veteran of construction industry, and facade inspection specialist. Myself, as I was introduced, I graduated as B-Science in mechanical engineering and executive MBA in the University of Haifa. I'm the founder and the CEO, and for the last 25 years, marketing and business development throughout the world, whether in Asia Pacific, North America, Europe, and Israel. Dr. Mor Zehavi, he's our AI director and R&D manager, has 20 years experience in AI research and adjunct professor in the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. Our special teams in regarding to the UAV is Mr. Gal Filiba, which has over 20 years drone operation, building and know-how with extensive professional and veteran from the IDF, one of the Israel's most prestigious pioneer in UAVs and drones ecosystem. Mr. Shalom Barnim is the CIO, brings over 20 years experience of information technology and information system and variety of different companies in Israel. And Mr. Boaz Baat is our CEO, 25 years of experience and engineering executive in manufacturing world, working in his past in Intel and other companies like Infineon and others. We also have our liaison office in USA, combined from Mr. Mark Meshulam. He is a facade inspector consultant with over 40 years of experience as an expert witness in court in hundreds of cases of damage arising from defects in the facade glass building. And he was an owner of his own company, installing facades and understanding facade from a very close hands-on. Dr. Ron Obe is our BD, is a business development for USA and Canada. He's executive and a professor in University of Georgia, extensive relationship and connection in the construction industry. And as you can see, we are also very close working with a variety of drone operators in all around the world. In Singapore, in US, and in Canada. We have our own partners like VAP, Dragonfly in the US, Drone in Canada, and Phoenix Air, Unmanned, which are very specialized in operation of drones in the US. If I will try to explain in 1 minute what is AI. So let's dive into the world of AI for 1 minute. I'm sure that all of you already a veteran as parents and so on, but I would like to take you 1 minute back in time to the time when it happened to me when I was just a young father. And I remember my childs were just making their first introduction into the world of grown-up. And we wanted to teach them some words and some logic and some characteristics. So there was a small book or card, actually, that in this card, it's called Baby Einstein, and then afterwards it became Baby Shakespeare and other, maybe all of you are familiar with that. So those cards were actually a drawing of an animal, whether it was a cow, whether it was a giraffe, it was a dog, it was a cat. And I was sitting together with my child and just flipping cards and repeating again and again about those names. And I take one card and flip it on and show it to my son. And I was saying, okay, you see, this is a giraffe, and the other one, this is a cow, and this is a dog. And after some time, when a lot of times repeating again and again every day or every week or every other time that we're sitting and playing, my child, my boy, knew by himself what to identify, what is a giraffe, what is a dog, and was able to distinguish between the two. This is very similar to what happened currently in artificial intelligence world, especially in computer vision. What we did in the recent years, we took millions of images of different anomalies, whether it's a crack on a building, whether it's a delamination, a spalling, or other type of anomalies. And we simply teached like a small baby, like just starting to work on that, millions and millions and millions of images. And we teached the computer to repeat itself again and again till the next one, the 1,000,001, he already, or it, let's call it that way, already understand by itself to distinguish between a crack and delamination, between a spalling to a stain. So this is how basically the same process is going again and again. The more data that we will acquire, the more accurate data that we will drive into the machine, the faster and the more accurately it will be able to learn more and more defects and anomalies. Diving into the AI technology, what it is basically all about. If we're talking about the AI, artificial intelligence topology and architecture, in a general semantic segmentation architecture, which we are using, it has an encoder network of a convolutional network, followed by decoder network. The encoder is a pre-trained classification network. And then after that, there is following step by a decoder network. So these are the two elements, the two steps that is done, encoding and decoding. Decoder semantically project the discriminative feature learned by the encoder onto the pixel space to get a dense classification. What does it mean? If you can see, there are three different images here. The left one, which is the image here, is an image taken by a camera on a concrete building in the world. And the middle one is actually the ground truth. This is representing only the crack out of the whole image. The black color is the background, and the white color is the ground truth representative of the crack. Doing and running encoding and decoding, we are able to see that the machine output was very, very similar to the ground truth, and actually replicating the ground truth and actually the image life. If we will know how to do that to any image, any anomaly, any step in that, actually, this is what we would like to achieve. The higher accuracy, the higher representative of the image. This is really important because at the end of the facade inspection regime and understanding, and what we would like to achieve, we would like to represent the current situation of the asset to the real life. In order to do that, the more accurate, the more repeatable that we can do that in a higher accuracy, actually will help us to make the right decision. What to do with this asset, whether it's going to go through a deep maintenance, or on the other side, maybe wait for the next cycle, not to do anything, or a minor repair. And this is highly important in that. Using a semantic segmentation will help us to do that. There are two major technologies or techniques to represent anomalies in artificial intelligence. Let's talk about these two elements. One is the boundary box, and the other one is what we call semantic segmentation. Of course, there are many variety of those, many flavors of boundary box, many flavors of semantic segmentation, but we're not going in this lecture into that deep. What we are going to discuss is a simple task, simple example describing the difference between boundary box and semantic segmentation. Here is a facade in Singapore, looking at the boundary boxes representing two cracks, one on the left side and one on the right side. It's very simple and easy to identify. And one may think that this is really indeed the situation of the asset. However, if we go into semantic segmentation, we will see that there is a very differentiation between inside crack number one, or the boundary box. Actually, there are 4 different cracks in boundary box 1. Therefore, using semantic segmentation will have a more profound, more accurate, and more true representation of the facade. Since this is just one example, it will demonstrate what is the difference between boundary boxes and semantic segmentation, why it is important to use one technology and the other technology. So many people are asking, do you use AI? Do you have an AI? Well, it's a simple question, becomes very complicated after all. It's not whether you have a car or you do not have a car. It depends which car you are using, because if you would like to go to the moon, probably a car will not support you, even though you have the best car. If you would like to do some other stuff, maybe one car can do that. But if you would like to run and use Formula One, I heard that in Singapore, Formula One is coming over all the time every year and do that. You cannot run a Toyota Corolla, whatever it is, to run together with the Formula One. Therefore, aligning and using the right technology, using the right tool will enable all of us to represent a very good understanding of the asset itself and the building and the facade. Here's another example that the boundary box was representing actually a crack in the middle of the building. It looks from a first impression that there is only one crack here. However, if you're going into semantic segmentation, which is the level of a pixel size, it's coming from the background of medical and defense, you will be able to see that there are actually additional 2 defects over there, 2 additional cracks over there. This is why when you are using only or using just boundary boxes, it may give you not the full comprehensive understanding of the building, the facade, and hence it will not support your conclusion or your decision what to do at the next level. This is how when people are saying, I have an AI or I do not have an AI, the question that we should ask during the process, okay, what AI, how you are going to utilize it, and how it is representative of our project, how it is good, realistic representative of the asset. If it's going to represent in a right way, in a bright way, and an easy way, then it makes a sense for us to use it. If we're just giving the general understanding, it is not enough to become a good and easy tool for the engineers or the consultant or the client to take decision. In these days, we're making decisions based on data-driven decision tools, not just only by simple things and hunch. Here are several guidelines in your next PFI that you can write down and take a note, 7 simple steps, what you should look for during your next facade inspection project. Tell me if you hear it, and you hear the music or not. Can you hear that?
We don't hear any sound.
You do not hear any sound. How do I add the sound? Let's see.
Lilian, are you able to advise Mr. Sharashov?
Can you hear it now? Can you hear it now?
No, I think I have to relaunch the slide with the option to choose share sound.
In under the speaker.
Using drones and AI is a modern and efficient way to inspect building exteriors. Here are some.
Can you hear it?
Yes, we can.
Yes, you can. Okay, wonderful. Let me just.
Facade inspection using drones and AI is a modern and efficient way to inspect building exteriors. Here are some simple steps to a successful drone AI inspection. Do on-site survey. 2. Document the analysis. 3. Perform analysis. 4. Planning appointments. 5. Use dynamic edge vision air to run the AI. 6. Prepare the inspection report. 7. Professional engineer findings. That's it, you're all done.
So these are the 7 steps that are very, very crucial and actually a must in order to complete a successful PFI project in Singapore. First step is important is to do a site survey together with the drone service provider and the stakeholders. It will give you an insight of what's the current situation. What are the risk assessment that you need to do, especially hard to reach area or risky area? Because drone can fly, of course, but it cannot fly everywhere. During this process of the site survey and the risk assessment, you will actually explore a lot of information that cannot be achieved unless you're on site. From that perspective, maybe there is a very risky road that is very close to the building and you need to block it. You need to take care of this situation. Sometimes their 2 blocks are close to each other and theoretically the drone can fly there, but it will be too close or too risky. Therefore, you would like to take those notes during the site survey. Maybe there's other sensitive areas that you would like to see and make sure that they are not interacting or there's no limitation for that. And therefore, drones and AI can be worked there theoretically. However, practically, in this specific situation, you may take this under consideration and limit into maybe 2 facades out of 4 or 3 facades out of 4 or whatever it is. But it's important. A site survey together with the DSP is highly crucial to do that. Additional, need to make sure that DSP, the drone service provider, and the other stakeholder fulfill all the necessary operation requirements, whether documents that needs to be, insurance documents, and other documents that are going to the local authorities. In case there are limitations, and I've seen in Singapore already some cases where drones are limited to fly over there, whether it's the height, whether it is the surrounding, maybe because of grid lines, or maybe other reasons. Take actions to mitigate those limitations. Then it will be representative using the 10% close-up inspection will be done by rope access or gondola or other means. It will reflect your pricing, because from that perspective, you will know to price it in correct way, in efficient way, and representing into your clients, not taking any risk under your responsibility if you don't have to. Using our Visionaire, which is the unique platform, very differentiated from other, actually you enable yourself to look over 360 holistic approach. It's a simple, easy, and comprehensive tool to utilize and make your life easy approaching this PFI. Do not forget to also work with the close registered certified facade inspector, which will prepare the initial facade inspection report and submit it to the CP, the competent person or the consultant or the relevant person who can submit at the end the report to BCA. After all, review all different aspects. Looking from all those aspects will ensure you to make a very successful and easy project. There are 4 simple steps that are very, very important and a must to take under consideration running such a PFI, periodic facade inspection project. 1, you need to understand and review together with DSP what is the data that is going to be collected, how it is going to be collected, and if there are any limitations. Second, you need to have an assessment of those results, a full assessment report, which is prepared to you and submitted to you to review and approve, review it, approve it, review and approve. And this process actually derives the end results. A certified report can be then either signed or shared with other stakeholders before signing it. Make sure that once it is submitted to the authorities, it really answers all their requirements. And last stage, which is not less important, is to do the data storage. Today in the world, there are many data information, whether it's coming from drawing or images. You need to store it in the right way that will be accessible for you in a very simple, easy way to you. I would like to take 1 minute of your time to view our Visionaire, which is our platform. Of course, it cannot cover everything. However, it will be a very, very easy to understand, and we will be very happy to support you after that to understand it. It's a visionary report. It's a visionary platform. It's made on vision, since it's looking at vision into the to the facade inspection. It's in the air due to the drone, and combined, of course, an AI. Can you hear that?
No, we can't hear it.
Now not, but now. Did you hear that one so far?
No. Is there any sound supposed to be coming from the video?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a sound. You did not hear the switch to phone audio, leave computer audio, same as microphone. Tell me if this is now you can hear.
Not really.
Sorry? Were you able to? Yes, you were able to hear it?
We can't really hear. So I think you might have to stop the PowerPoint slides and restart it and check. There's an option to share sound in the PowerPoint.
Okay, let me do that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay. Sorry for that. I guess you guys now.
Yes, great. Loud and clear.
Thank you. Okay. ענת, אני בשיחה. Okay, that was a short brief about the Visionaire. And before we're going into the holistic approach of the Visioner and how it can support the periodic facade inspection, when we originally developed the Visioner, we thought how we can make it very simple and easy to use. However, we're still seeing a lot of times that actually we're providing a comprehensive tool, an easy tool online, and people are asking us, can you give this in a paper? So this is the challenge, I think, that we are seeing today, how to move from the world of the paper and the reports that is being done into the digital world. Now all the information is being stored online, it's available online, and you can discuss it easily with your clients, with the relevant authorities, or with the other stakeholders. All stakeholders are sharing a common information. It's a community of use of all the project stakeholders together, sitting together, whether it is on in their office, on site, or at the clients, all sharing the same information. There is a built-in tool that already provides you a comprehensive risk assessment, helping you to fulfill all the necessary requirements. It has an excellent tool to do a data collection in a very comprehensive, easy, and simple tool. Of course, the Visioner also inherently built to provide an AI, artificial intelligence analysis to those images that are being taken by the drones or by other team members. The professional engineer or the facade inspector has the option easily online to review, assess, document, and amend the reports before it is submitted. After it is already been done, a full report is being generated according to the regulation, according to the specific regulation in Singapore, which are Technical Reference 78, Part 1 and Part 2. And not less important, as we said, it's also provide an easy tool to data storage your data, our data, the client's data in a simple location, simple click, and store it either for the next round or for your decision. To summarize it in an easy way, I would like to discuss 4 topics that we have reviewed together today. We discussed how AI and drone can support your PFI, when to use AI and when not to. What questions to ask in your next PFI project, advantages and disadvantages of AI, whether it's semantic or boundary boxes. And of course, understanding the limitation of drones, where they can fly, they cannot fly, or simply to use an alternative solution because it cannot replace everything in one snapshot. In many, many cases, they are there. Having said that, I would like to add one more thing. I think in post-COVID situation, and even before, what is the world is seeing, not only in Singapore, it's actually happening around the world. Many, many more people that are used to be a facade inspector or specialist in inspection of assets or buildings or other different type of inspection, especially high-rise towers. Simply those experts, which has a 20, 25 years, do not want to climb any longer to go and reach a very hard situation, hard building, very tall buildings. They simply are more and more expert. They know what to do the job, but they don't want to do actually to climb over there, whether it's a rope access, a gondola, or any other mean. This is one situation. On the other hand, young generation find themselves that they also do not want to do this job. They don't want to climb up there, do a close-up inspection. And the work is very hard, very difficult, tedious, and needs a lot of days of training. So inevitably, this gap that is being generated within time is creating a challenge for all of us how to execute the facade inspection, because building in anywhere in the world are getting older. New building are coming into the market, but that means also new building are moving from 15 years to 20 years and so on, and enlarging the number of buildings that needs to be inspected. And this gap must be addressed. The only way that it should be addressed and can be addressed is actually automation. Whether it's going to be a drone or any other solution, this challenge is still there. How to bridge this gap. One small additional video that I would like to share with you is a little bit of information that is coming recently from Singapore.
Recently, Singapore Building and Construction Authority introduced the periodic facade inspection regime, leading the inspection to the next level. Using drones is a game changer in building maintenance. These aerial marvels offer numerous advantages. Firstly, they enhance safety by eliminating the need for human climbers, reducing the risk of accidents. Secondly, drones provide unparalleled accessibility, navigating complex architectural structures effortlessly. They capture high-resolution images and videos, enabling detailed analysis of facades, and detecting even the tiniest flaws. Moreover, drones are cost-effective, saving time and resources compared to traditional methods. They enable efficient data collection and streamline reporting, ensuring swift decision-making. Embrace the future of facade inspection with drones, revolutionizing the industry with their unparalleled efficiency and precision. Join us in this wonderful endeavor of transforming facade inspection with Drone AI. Dynamic Edge is your partner for facade inspection.
Okay. So, before I end up my lecture for today, I promised you that I will answer the question, who thinks artificial intelligence will replace people work over time? So I will try to answer it from my perspective using a short story about an article that was done between a magazine and Elon Musk from Tesla. And they were asking, listen, Mr. Elon Musk, Mr. Musk, you are going to bring us a lot of artificial intelligence to the world, and especially to mobility and autonomous cars. Will this solve all our car accidents? Actually, we don't know. It's very afraid how we're going to make sure that it's going to really work for us and not create new car accidents and safety of people and so on. And he was a very clever guy, and he still is, but he was answering in the following way. He said, one, today in the world, all the actually cars, or most of the cars, are being driven by people. And yet there is a lot of car accident. So even if human being is doing the driving all around the world, it's actually has a lot of percentage of car accident anywhere in the world. And this is done 100% driven by human being. The artificial intelligence that will enable autonomous driving will not be the full 100% coverage of eliminating car driving, but I can assure car accidents, but I can assure you that it will be much less problematic or much less car accidents than the human being. So from my perspective, AI, artificial intelligence, and in specific to periodic facade inspection, it probably will not solve all the problems that facade inspection has, but it definitely will improve it dramatically and significantly in the future. And more time that it will pass, we will see more and more drones and other technologies coming into the market based on artificial intelligence, assisting the consultant, the facade inspector, the competent person all around the world to execute in a better way their wonderful work. Thank you and appreciate your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sharashov. We have actually overshot our time a little, and I know that we are standing between you and your lunch. However, we would like to invite questions from the audience for all our 4 speakers. Does anybody have any questions? Maybe let me just start with a question for Mr. Sharashov. In terms of AI, from your experience at this moment, how accurate or what kind of accuracy are we looking at in terms of the defects detection, whether there are misses or whether there are false positives? Where are we right now at this point in time?
Right. So I believe that currently, when we are looking at the accuracy of AI, it really depends on what type of technology. I presented today 2 technologies, 2 techniques that are actually being common use for PFI and for anomalies detection. One of them is the boundary boxes, and the other one is semantic segmentation. I think that semantic segmentation is based on a lot of pixel level. So that means how many pixels are being contoured around the anomaly itself. The boundary boxes actually combine a lot more area and data. And also the technique is related to how you measure this. So accuracy is related also how to do the measurement. I believe that in today's solution, the best solution to get in the level of, let's say, 85 and above percentage of accuracy, okay, you'll need to combine both, because the semantic segmentation will give you a very good representation of the anomaly, and the boundary box will give you a very high resolution or accuracy of the detection of quantification wise. So you will need to combine the 2 in order to get this right accuracy. Either of them will not reach to a very high level that is needed today.
Thank you. No questions from the floor. And maybe, can I just ask a question to Mr. Kanzi? I vaguely remember I saw one of the slides actually showing that the manufacturing process for the products actually contribute about 50% of the carbon emission throughout the entire construction cycle, or is it something like that?
That's right. That's the embodied carbon, and the calculation of that particular figure for the life cycle stages A1, A2, and A3. So that's the embodied carbon goes into construction.
So probably it's really very worthwhile that we zoom into this area to try to see what we can do to minimize the emission.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you can focus particularly on that big contributor of the embodied carbon, then you can save a lot of carbon from your overall carbon spending, because on the other life cycle stages, I think, I'm not a construction engineer or structural engineer, but the things can be done in the other life cycle stages are really limited.
So my question is, I saw that there are things like the responsible steel or steel zero that you mentioned. So are there any statistics that show what kind of savings or what kind of reductions we can expect from these?
I just would like to go back to my presentation. First of all, I think the engineers should identify the exact source of any particular construction material, specifically, let's say, rebar, where it is manufactured, from which country, from which mill, and then you can able to identify their carbon footprint level. And if you can able to, find some alternatives, you can compare those alternatives with your current supplier or the suppliers in your supply chain.
Thank you. We have a question from the audience. It's for Mr. Sharashov. So the question is, for work done using AI, who will be responsible? Is it the company coming out with the AI or the user, or both? Will you be able to elaborate a little bit more on that?
Yes, absolutely, and a very good and important question. Thank you for bringing this up. As I said, and I think Mr. Lim, you also brought it into the discussion, talking about the accuracy and the importance of that, how to measure it, and what is true positive, true negative, and so on. The current situation is that, and I think it will continue in the next few years, that AI and artificial intelligence liability is still any tool that exists today is an excellent tool to become a data-driven decision and I would say in specific assisting tool. It's an assisting tool to the CP, okay, the competent person that already been trained by and certified by BCA to make the decision, what is the situation, what is the status of the asset, the building, the facade, and he is also the liable for the submission of the report. Okay, the competent person, he is the expert. We, as a software company, artificial intelligence, and others, no matter how we are good in that, and we are very good in our excellent artificial intelligence, still we are a software company. We do not replace the competent person, the facade inspector, or the people who come up with their experience of 25, 30 years, 40 years. We're an excellent tool to deliver this information, to provide comprehensive data, to statistic that, and to be an assisting tool. However, the sole decision of the understanding from structural point of view, whether it's structural or non-structural, whether it is compliant with the regulations, it is sole lie on the competent person. And simply because it's also the different regulations, whether you are doing a facade inspection in New York City or in Singapore or in Israel, the regulation, the standards are different and the understanding is different. I'll tell you a short story to example that is, for example, cracks and type of cracks are being absorbed differently in New York City than in other locations in the world. For example, in New York City, they are very much are prone for cold weather. Sometimes water is dripping into those cracks and being freezing, and by that expanding and expanding over time the cracks. However, the weather in Singapore is a little bit different, and therefore the understanding of the localization, whether it's in Singapore, whether it's in Africa, Asia, or Europe, makes a difference. Understanding and interpretation of this anomaly, whether it's a crack or something different. Only the person who understands and knows the local regulation, standard, and the environment can make this decision.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Sharashov.